But for the first 3 years, I just focused on that every single moment until the day I was allowed to leave the country. And then I was done. They had treated me so horribly through all of this. I left. I said goodbye and moved to Japan. Started having a fun time in Japan as a young single guy with enough money in my pocket to have a fun time. And I won't go into too many details, but going out, having a wild time in Roppongi, and you hear a lot of people nowadays, they love to talk about, Lambo, Wind Moon, this and that. Well, I bought a Lamborghini before Bitcoin had ever even been invented, and drove it around Tokyo a bit. And when Bitcoin came along, I thought, I better sell my Lamborghini to buy more Bitcoin, and that's exactly what I did. So I went the reverse direction. Most people want to buy a Lambo with their Bitcoin. I sold my Lamborghini to buy more Bitcoin, and then sold my Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin Cash, because that's the one that has the ability to be useful in commerce and make the world a better place for everybody. So that's why I'm such a big fan and holder of Bitcoin Cash today. And then after going out and having a wild time in Roppongi a few too many times, I started to gain a little bit of weight, so I needed some form of exercise. And then, I'd watched all the early UFCs and knew who Royce Gracie was, and I had wrestled in junior and high school, so I knew Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's the exercise for me. And I started that and thought, wow, this really is amazing, and just fell in love with that. And I was doing Jiu-Jitsu 6-7 times a week, sometimes in the morning and the evening, and really loving it. And I was competing in a bunch of tournaments and just having a really fun time with that. And then Bitcoin came along, and I heard about Bitcoin. I still love Jiu-Jitsu, but I loved Bitcoin even more. So I dropped everything in my life and took all the capital that I had and started investing it into Bitcoin and Bitcoin-related businesses, and doing everything I could to get everybody I knew to pay attention to Bitcoin and start using Bitcoin in actual commerce to buy and sell things. And so I started telling all my vendors for the computer parts in mainland China, I said, hey, I'll continue to be your customer, but you need to start accepting Bitcoin for payment for these sort of things. And then I started telling all of my customers, hey, I'll still sell to you, but I would prefer if you pay me in Bitcoin, and if you do, I'll even give you a discount. And so I started getting everyone everywhere that I knew in every circle of my life to start using Bitcoin for their payments, to buy or sell whatever it is they're buying or selling. Let's start doing it in Bitcoin. And sure enough, it started to take off. People started to use Bitcoin to buy and sell things, and it started to get more and more traction. And companies that I had invested in, like BitPay, started to get more and more customers that were using Bitcoin for payments. And before you knew it, the whole world was starting to look at Bitcoin as being usable as money. And then a bunch of other people came along and started saying that Bitcoin shouldn't be used as money, and Bitcoin should be slow, expensive, and unreliable. And as a businessman who knew that anything needs to be fast, cheap, and reliable if you want people to use it, I said, no. Bitcoin needs to be fast, cheap, and reliable if we want people to use it as money, if we want it to have value, if we want it to be able to improve the world. And sadly, my side of the argument lost out on that. And the people that use censorship and propaganda and personal attacks, they succeeded. Congratulations, guys. You made Bitcoin slow, expensive, and unreliable to use in commerce. And if it's slow, expensive, and unreliable, less people are going to use it in commerce. But thankfully, the original vision of Bitcoin, which was a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, is alive and well in the form of Bitcoin Cash, because it's fast, cheap, and reliable. And that's why myself at Bitcoin.com and all of my friends and contacts and the businesses I'm invested in, I'm pushing all of them. Hey, let's start using Bitcoin Cash as money for the world, because it's fast, cheap, and reliable. The additional capital from having invested in Bitcoin, now I can really use my wealth to help make the world a much better place. So some examples of it, I've already started investing in a bunch of stem cell technology companies that are looking at how to, dying sucks, right? If you die, that's it, game over, you're done. So let's figure out how to prevent people from being able to die. I want not just myself, but all my friends and family and loved ones that I care about, I want us to be able to live forever in good health, when young, healthy, happy bodies. So I've already invested a bunch of money in that sort of thing, and I'm gonna invest a bunch more in those sorts of things, because I want to be able to keep enjoying with all you guys watching this video, and my own friends and family, and all of us. Right now we only have the option of dying. I want to give people the option of living. So that's one of the things I intend to work on next. The world is getting better and better year after year, with more and more technology and more economic growth and a higher and higher standard of living for people. So in 10 years, it's going to be significantly better than it is today. But if we work hard, we can make it even better than it otherwise would have been. So the future is what we make of it. So let's work to make it the best one we possibly can.